who's the character that's below?
Another good example of this is Ace. He's your basic. You would think he's just a basic tank guy, but if you look at him, he's got all kinds of personality, like ridiculous amount of bravado. He's a super cocky character. That all comes through in his animation, which is painstakingly done to really just emote as much as we can from every little movement. His run in the game is just a ridiculous, like arrogant strut to his board poses. He's flexing and doing all kinds of things, and then all the way that goes all the way down the line to his voice acting. And all those things bring it together to, rather just have your big tanky guy with a bunch of armor and a sword, now we have a big tanky guy that has all kinds of personality that you're gonna, even when you're done playing the game, you're gonna have little reminders and things he says in the game, or little pictures like left over subliminally from the game that's gonna make you want to come back and experience it again. With MOBAs, you're pretty much playing on one map, give or take. It's an incredibly important piece of the puzzle. So one of the things we need to do is ensure that it doesn't get stale very quickly. I kind of equate it to a baseball field or a soccer field. I mean, that's your play field. You need to. It's not about. Basically, since you're playing on that same map, you want to have interesting enough items and colors and designs and shapes that you're not quickly bored by them, but you also don't want ridiculous overkill. Like, for instance, colors are one of the most important parts of the game. Like, you can't have really bright, flashy colors all over the place, or your mind's gonna go crazy and you're not gonna be able to focus on what you're supposed to. And you can't have really dull, boring, flat colors either, because it's just gonna get old really quick. So we spent a lot of time trying to find that really pleasing middle ground.
What were the colors you guys ended up going for with this game?
It's kind of more in the midtones, pastel kind of secondary colors. And we also have some games, even Heroes of the North has a good side and a bad side. Based on some of the lore in this game, you're not really fighting anyone good or bad in this game. You're training and being tested in the trials of Strife to prepare for this, impending prophecy of this dark force that they'll deal with against. So we didn't really have a good or bad side. So what we did instead is we broke the map up into 4 quadrants, where each quadrant has its own feel. Like, we have caves, which are more of like purples and oranges. And that's one quadrant of the map. And then we have another section which is swamps, and that's more of kind of like certain kinds of shades of greens, yellows and greens. And then we have a jungle version, it's more greens, but it's a little more jungle-ish type greens. And then we have another graveyard section map, there's blues and teals, and there's gargoyles and headstones, and that kind of provides a few different things. Visual interest, and it also gives you an ability to keep track of where you are on the map very easily just by noticing your surroundings.